Alright, so we all know SNL has a rich history of parodying politicians, and as we approach the 2016 elections, we have already begun to see candidates appear in sketches. With all of the controversy surrounding Donald Trump hosting an episode this season, the question has come up. Can late-night television affect an election? And while you might think the answer is no, academics have actually written on this, and they have named a socio-political phenomena called the Fey effect. That's right. Social scientists have named a phenomena after the 2008 Tina Fey parodies of Sarah Palin.
Just look at how far we've come. Hillary Clinton, who came so close to the White House, and me, Sarah Palin, who is even closer. Can you believe it, Hillary?
In 2012, an article was written for Communications Quarterly called The Influence of Parodies on Mental Models, Exploring the Tina Fey-Sarah Palin Phenomena, which basically defined the Fey effect and claimed the reason it exists is because subconsciously we can't tell these two apart. Fair enough. When we see the parody, our brains remember it and connect it to the original, so when we try to make judgments about the politician, the parody is intertwined with it. So, the Fey effect is the inverse relationship between the popularity of a politician and the popularity of a comedian. In short, the more popular the comedian, the less popular the politician. SNL has been making fun of politicians literally since its first episode in 1975. So why is it called the Fey effect? Basically, because Tina Fey's impressions of Sarah Palin in 2008 were the most extreme example of the Fey effect yet. It was basically the perfect storm. The impact of the parody is basically shaped around timeline, believability, and quality. Let me unpack that. First, the timeline. Sarah Palin was announced to be McCain's running partner August 29, 2008. 2 weeks later, Tina Fey appeared on SNL on September 13th. Fey's second parody was of the Sarah Palin-Katie Couric interview that was on CBS only 2 days before the SNL sketch aired. Sarah Palin wasn't very well known in the public arena. Fey defined Palin before Palin could define herself. The second element of the storm was the believability of Tina Fey's impressions of Sarah Palin. She just about quoted Sarah Palin on sketches.
You've cited Alaska's proximity to Russia as part of your foreign policy experience. What did you mean by that?
That Alaska has a very narrow maritime border between a foreign country, Russia.
Well, Alaska and Russia are only separated by a narrow maritime border. You've got Alaska here, and this right here is water, and then that's up there's Russia. So we keep an eye on them.
She may have taken a little creative license here and there, but ultimately the core content was the same, and the viewers recognized that. Lastly, it's called the Tina Fey effect because they were really good impressions. Tina Fey captured Palin's mannerisms and accent perfectly, and the fact that she happened to look naturally a lot like her made her even more believable in costume and makeup. You can basically not tell them apart. While it would be easy to discount the Fey effect, there's actually been scholarly research proving that this is real. In 2012, a group of political scientists from East Carolina University found that in a survey of 18 to 24-year-olds, those who had seen the Saturday Night Live parodies had a 15.6 higher likelihood of disapproving of Palin from those who had not seen the sketches, and were 45.4% more likely to say her nomination made them not want to vote for McCain. They wrote all of this up in The Fey Effect, Young Adults, Political Humor, and Perceptions of Sarah Palin in the 2008 Presidential Election Campaign, an academic article in Public Opinion Quarterly. The results of this survey show that entertainment does have power. It's important not to give comedy too much power and suggest that the sketches alone is why McCain and Palin lost the election, because it's simply not true. The nature of a parody is to build on pre-existing material and turn it into comedy. In 2008, it was this.
And you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Becoming that.
And I can see Russia from my house.
In 2016, it could be anything. It's important to be aware that our perception is shaped by what we see on television, but also to know that media bias will exist with or without live audience laughter. So enjoy the impressions, jokes, and sketches that are coming your way over the next year, but ultimately make sure your opinions are formed around the real thing too.